Hello and welcome to Tech Talk. I'm here with Nektarios Liolios, the co-founder and CEO of Startupbootcamp. Thank you for joining me. And Nektarios, you have just expanded to Mexico. You have already a couple of presences in emerging markets, but this is the first time in Latin America. Why did you choose Mexico?
When we started Startupbootcamp FinTech, we thought we build a program in the three big financial hubs with London, Singapore, New York, and all the startups come to that, because this is where they're drawn to. And then we realized that there's a dedicated need for regions to have their own centers. And Latin America definitely deserved one. And there's a lot of startup activity, there's a lot of interest in fintech activity. And within the region in Latin America, Mexico was the best place for us to start this, because it gives us all the elements that we need in an ecosystem, with angel investors, a regulator that's interested, an awareness about technology innovation, and that's why we chose Mexico City.
So a Startup Bootcamp is an accelerator, which means that you provide a network of support, mentors, potential partners, or even investors to the startups. I know there is an element of funding as well with the Mexico project, but of course the key point of your offering is this network.
Absolutely.
And yeah, so you have a number of partners, including Banregio, which is obviously Mexican banks. So how are you finding the local fintech and banking market in Mexico, and how does that compare to the rest of Latin America, and what differentiates it from other markets around the world?
So the partners there, Banregio is one of them. The partners that we choose are usually from the wider region. And fingers crossed, in the next couple of months we will announce more that actually come outside of Mexico, because we really want this to be attractive for the startups who want to have a regional play. The startups come to us because of the promise of this intimate interaction with the banks, with the financial institutions. It's because it's fintech, because it's a regulated industry, because a lot of the startups build solutions that are very much selling into enterprise. Mm-hmm. It's not straightforward. It takes a long time to get your regulatory approval, to actually be enterprise ready, and therefore we don't look at the hockey stick curve that you would look in a non-regulated startup. And from that perspective, that interaction is important. The ecosystem concentrates around three countries really, which is Mexico, it's Chile, and Colombia. And we did think about where to put the program. We also considered Miami, but then we decided, because of the strength of the local domestic market and the interested parties that we had, Gentera is another partner, Visa is another partner. So bringing these people together, having a very honest conversation about their innovation capability, actually asking the financial institutions, what is it that you can actually do with the startups, was really important. And then when we have enough of educated and inspired and excited partners, then we can launch a program. Because in all fairness, a lot of corporate innovation work is also a lot of marketing, a lot of noise with very little substance behind it.
Right, okay, so that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create substance and develop the local fintech area. Now, Latin America is somewhat different from, as we were saying, other parts of the world, not only Europe and the US, but other emerging markets. What products do you think will have the biggest chances of growing? What is the demand for fintech products there?
So fintech as a term has been around for about 5 years. And if you look at the evolution of startups that build something in that space, in the West, in our London program, in our New York program, we see that we have fashions, we have phases. We are now no longer looking at payment solutions or lending focused solutions. That really doesn't happen anymore that much. A lot of what we see in our London programs, for instance, is very much around investment, wealth and asset management, but also solutions that are built for very specific needs of the industry that are not as public, very, very niche, very esoteric stuff. In Latin America, it's very different. We still see very much things that are bottom of the pyramid, financial inclusion, whichever label you want to use. Things that are looking to offer real payment solutions for people who don't have access to the banking system, real lending solutions for people who don't have access to lending. A lot of solutions for SMEs. It's a big subject, SME financing in Latin America, and the very early stages of investment-focused products. So we see stuff that we don't see as much in the West, or don't see anymore in the West, but a lot of it is really driven by the need to service a chunk of the population that has no access at all to any financial services.
So yeah, in the early stages of applications for the program, and you will get a list of 20 applicants, I think, by when?
Yeah, so we usually attract 300 to 400 applications per cycle. Out of those, we filter it down to 20. Out of those 20, we then pick 10, and those 10 make it into the program. Our selection days are in mid-June. So hopefully
we shall have some news.
Yeah, we will
by
have
the
some
summer.
news by mid-June, yes.
Very good. Well, thank you for your comments and best of luck.
Thank you very much.